Now, there are some properties of materials on the basis of which we sort them into different groups. There are certain properties, okay? Now we are going to study about those properties only. So those properties are, first of all, appearance. Appearance means how does that material look. For example, what color is the wood is? The wood is of brown color. What color the paper is? So the paper is of white color. So we can differentiate things on the basis of color. How do they look? Does it have the shine or not? In which condition is it? Is it a metal? Is it a solid, liquid, or is it a gas? Or in which condition is it? So this is called the appearance, how it looks. Now next one is the hardness. Hardness means its stiffness or the softness. Is it stiff or soft? On touching the thing, how do we feel? Is it hard or soft? When you touch the plastic or the wood, how do you feel? Would you call it soft? No, I would call it hard. But when you touch the water, how do you feel? Water is liquid, so it doesn't have the hardness. The third one is the solubility. Solubility means whether an object or a material gets soluble in the water or not. For example, I took first of all some sand. Sand you know very well. So I took some sand and I tried to dissolve in the water. What would I see? That the sand would not get dissolved in the water, rather, it would settle down at the bottom of the tumbler. In the next case, I took the sugar. Let us take sugar or say salt. I took one of these. So I tried to dissolve this and tried to stir it in the water in some tumbler. After some time, what would I see? I would observe that the sugar and salt have been dissolved completely, not a single trace of it you would be able to find. So this defines the solubility of a material. Fourth property is the float and sink in water. Float means तैरना. Okay. So you have seen that a swimmer can float in water. He will not sink in the water. Sink means डूबना. Float तैरना. Sink means डूबना. So a person who knows the swimming, what would he do? Would he float or sink in water? Yes, of course, he would float in water. But the person, for example, I do not know how to swim. So what would happen to me if I go into a deep ocean or a deep sea? I would sink immediately. I would not be able to float there in any case. So in the same way, objects have the density. About density you have studied a little in your 5th class also. I told you that density is the mass per unit volume. For example, in 1 centimeter cube, how much mass is there? This defines the density. Density is the mass per unit volume. So a thing, an object having the density greater, a thing having the more density will sink in water, and an object having the less density would float in water. So this is the difference. The floating or the sinking of a material depends on the density also. Next property is the transparency. About transparency, we can categorize this in three things. For example, first we can say transparent. Transparent means the things, the objects which can allow the light to pass through it, those are called the transparent. For example, you took a glass tumbler okay. Now try to look in from the middle of it. Say some other person is sitting at the other side of the glass and you are sitting at the one side other side of the glass, you can see that person very easily through that glass, because that glass is transparent, it is allowing the light to pass through it very easily. That is why we will call it transparent. Another type of object is the translucent. Translucent. These are the objects which can allow the light to pass through them partially. Not completely, but partially. Partially means to a little extent. You can do this activity at your home also. You can try this out about the translucent. What you have to do is that take a paper, and after taking the paper, you have to wet that paper in oil. After that paper gets wet in the oil, what will happen? Now try to observe a CFL. Nowadays we are using the CFL. So now observe the CFL through that paper. By through that paper you have to try to see that CFL. What would you see? You will not be able to see the CFL very clearly, but partially. So this type of material are called translucent. Another example of translucent material is the plastic polythenes also. Out of the plastic polythene you cannot see exactly clearly, but to a certain extent. So this is the translucent. The third material are the opaque materials. So opaque are the materials out of which, through which we cannot see a little amount of anything. Okay, for example, I tried to see a person sitting in the next room through the wall. I have closed the door, there is no window in my room. I'm trying to see the person sitting in the another room by using the wall. Would I be able to see him? Unless I have some divine powers. Okay, so I will never be able to see the other person sitting in the next room through the wall, because the wall is opaque. So these type of materials are called the opaque materials. So first property we are having is the appearance. Let us understand this very elaborately, very deeply. First one is the appearance. So what is the definition of appearance? First of all, let us understand this. So the state, condition, manner or style in which an object appears. Remember this. This word is very important for this. Appears. How it looks. So that is the only thing which is called the appearance. Now, according to appearance, we can classify materials as lustrous, that is shiny, having the shine in it. For example, the metals like gold, silver, aluminium, copper. You can see here gold, silver, copper. All these metals have the shine in it, the luster in it. Luster means shine. Okay. Now next time, if someone or I myself ask you what does the luster or lustrous means, so you would answer me, luster means the shine of a material. So in the on the first category was the appearance. So some materials can be lustrous, some materials can have the shine, for example the metals, and some materials can be non-lustrous, they do not have the shine, for example wood, paper. Have you ever seen the shine in the wood or paper? No, I haven't seen. So these are the non-lustrous materials. So another category we'll say, next category is the hardness. So about hardness I've told you already. You define hardness. You are able to tell whether the substance is hard or not by touching, not by looking at it. About appearance, how would you be able to categorize? By seeing it only. Appearance means its looks. So you can tell whether a material is shiny or not by just looking at it. You don't need to touch it. But in the case of hardness, you need to touch. By touching only, you will be able to tell whether the substance is hard or soft. So when you press different materials with your hand, some of them may be hard to compress. Compress means to press them. You will not be press them. Would you be able to press the wood? No, it will not get compressed, while others can be compressed easily. For example, if I try to press the cotton. About cotton you have studied in the earlier chapter, from fiber to fabric. So you must have cotton at your home. So try to press the cotton. What would you feel? You will feel that the cotton gets compressed very easily, effortlessly. It's very easy to compress it. So that will be called soft. So two types of materials are there. First one are those which we cannot compress very easily. The others are those which can be compressed very easily. So the first one are called the hard materials, and the other ones are called the soft materials. Some examples of the hard materials are the iron, wood, and a lot of metals are there, like copper, gold. These are the hard materials. But the soft materials are the cotton, sponge. These are the soft materials. You can try yourself. By touching these materials, you will yourself identify whether the material is soft or hard. So that's it for today. We'll see rest of the chapter. We'll study the rest of the chapter in the next video.